Hello friends, welcome to our YouTube channel. Now in today's class we are going to learn one interesting effect of the light, that is photoelectric effect. Okay, so light has different properties, different effects, so light shows this effect also. So what is this effect? For this we will study in this lecture. Okay, so first of all we know that a metal surface we required for this effect. A metal surface, it contains number of atoms and electrons are revolving around the atom. Okay, so metal surface, when it undergoes exposure to the light, then light whenever fall on the surface, light means it is nothing but the photon means energy packets. So whenever this light is falling on the surface, these photons transfer their energy to the atom, and due to this energy, this atom gets energy and electrons are jumping towards the higher energy level. So whenever they are jumping towards the higher energy level, one stage came when these electrons, they leave the surface and they becomes free to move outside. So this type of effect in which photons, that means light energy, converts into the electrical energy, because now electrons are free means they can move here and there, and motion of electron is nothing but the current. So here light energy gets converted into the electrical energy. So what is this effect? Whenever a light of suitable energy or suitable frequency, not ordinary light will produce this effect. Okay, so whenever a light of suitable frequency or suitable energy is falling on the surface of the metal plate, then electrons are free to move outside the surface, or electrons will free from the surface. This effect is called as photoelectric effect. Okay, so here I have shown a metal surface here. Now see the next diagram. Here in the next diagram I have shown the metal surface. It is undergo the exposure to the light, so source of light is also shown here. Okay, so whenever these photons entering towards the surface, then surface atom gets that energy, absorb that photon energy, and electrons will become free. So these free electrons are moving outside the surface. So that electrons, free electrons, due to this photon energy, these free electrons are called as photoelectrons. Okay, so these electrons are called as photoelectrons, and motion of electron causes current. This current is called as a photoelectric current, and this total effect is called as a photoelectric effect. So here the light energy converts into the electrical energy. Okay, so I hope you understand this concept. Okay, now let's see the experimental arrangement of this photoelectric effect. So for that, here the experimental arrangement is shown. Here the evacuated glass tube is taken. You have observed this glass tube, the total tube like structure, it is made up of glass and evacuated. Okay, inside that a photosensitive material is kept as a cathode. So C is a plate that is made up of photosensitive material. That means whenever a light is falling on the surface, it will react immediately. So photosensitive material is kept there as a cathode, and in front of that cathode an absorber, or we can say it is a receiver, collector, another metal plate is kept there as a collector. It is represented here in the diagram with a E. Okay, so A is a collector and C is the cathode or emitter. Okay, now this cathode and collector, these are externally connected with the help of a circuit. So in that circuit, observe here it is a current meter, battery means power supply, external power supply, and the current meter, voltmeter, current meter, power supply, these are connected to the, or in between the cathode and the anode, that means collector and the emitter. So this battery will help us to give the proper potential difference between two plates and proper polarity between these two plates. Okay, now there is a window like structure, you can observe there in the upper part of that tube there is a window like structure that is called as a quartz window. So this window is kept such that exactly whenever light will enter through this window, it will directly fall on the cathode or the emitter. Okay, so whenever light will enter inside this window, it will directly be in contact with the emitter. So cathode will absorb this light energy and the electrons will emit. Okay, so this is the construction or this is the experimental setup first we observe here. So in this experimental setup you have observed all the things how we have to arrange. Now see, in the working process, whenever light of suitable frequency is entering through that window, it will fall on the cathode. Cathode is photosensitive material, so it absorbs the photon energy and immediately the electrons will emit. Now these electrons are made to travel towards the anode, that means towards the collector. So these electrons get attracted towards the anode. So for that purpose we have to make the collector positive, means polarity of the anode must be positive. So we have to connect that battery such that the positive will be given to the anode and negative will be given to the cathode. So whenever electrons will emit, they will get repelled by the cathode and they can move in towards the anode due to the polarities. And due to the potential difference, proper potential difference also we have to maintain. So when we maintain the proper potential difference, they electrons, emitted electrons get kinetic energy and they will move in the forward direction. So in this manner, in between cathode and anode, continuous flow of electron will be there. And as we know that flow of electron means nothing but the photoelectric current. So we will observe here in the current meter there is some readings. So you observe that there is 2.5 is shown here accordingly. So that means here the flow of current will start whenever electrons will emitting. So this is experimental setup for the photoelectric effect. So how we can study this effect? So light is only we are making it to fall on the cathode and we note down the current reading in the current meter. So hope you understand the concept of the photoelectric effect and the experimental setup of this effect. Okay. So if you have any doubt, please comment in the comment section. I will solve your doubts. If you like our videos, share it and subscribe our channel.